Hey everybody, kind of a weird light here. Let's see, is that better? Okay. I'm filming this 45 and 52. I can't keep track of the weeks. All I know is when we hit week 52, that's it. You know, which as I comfortably crank my arm is just like 2 months from now, a little bit less. So you do the math. It's too early for me. I'm filming this on a Saturday rather than a Sunday, just because our weekend is a little bit different this particular week. Probably won't put it up until tomorrow, which for you is today, but you don't need to know that. Anyway, after I shot my episode last week, I ran into a little bit of an issue. I was doing some yard work in the back. There was like a small tree, kind of bigger than a sapling, we'll say that, but it was sizable nonetheless, in our backyard. My backyard is not flat. It's the best way I could describe it is like a rocky hill with multiple layers. And yeah, my wife has wanted this little sapling down for quite a while. So I was trying to borrow a I didn't need a chainsaw, just like one of those, I don't know what you call it. I think they're like one blade, you know, kind of saws. Okay, don't look at me, buddy. Yeah, it's weird. I don't want these people to look at me, but you guys are fine. Yeah, an oscillating tool maybe. And my brother-in-law has one, but he was like, it's not going to work for that. And I was like, yeah, it will. It's not that thick. It's just kind of like thicker, a little bit thicker than a soda can. And so I couldn't borrow it from him. I do have a hacksaw, so I was like, yeah, I could use this. It took me a little time to get right next to the tree, because again, I had to climb up this somewhat rocky hill that's not really conducive to walking up. And I was cutting out like a lot of brush on my way up as well. And I finally got there. And I realized that the blade wasn't as sharp as I thought it would be. So I was like, let me try it regardless. Went ahead, started it, and the blade got stuck. So this particular hacksaw had kind of two handles on each side. So I figured, let me see if I could just do left and right, you know, both hands. Maybe that'll work. And it worked for a second, and then when I went to go to the right, and my feet, I should mention, are on uneven ground at this point, bam! And unfortunately, my back has been ruined since. It's a little under a week at this point. Yeah, a lot of pain. I've had back issues in the past. Some of you may have heard me talk about that. And but for the most part, I've been good for like 10 years. This is a major setback for me. Like, I could barely walk a couple days. I was limping. I still have problems like trying to get dressed. I haven't even tried to pick up a long box. Forget it. That's going to be a while. I did take the tree down though too. I was not going to let that. Almost said something. It was not going to let that sucker, you know, stay up, especially after taking me down. But yeah, so I've been at this chiropractor now. I think this is my third visit, so I'm feeling a little bit better, but it goes in and out. Yes, she said. That's been kind of the major thing going on with me this week. But also, I got word that the Condry comic I drew, Condry: A Prayer for Dying, is actually printed, and it's at the Legacy headquarters, if you will, as we speak. So those are going to start to go out next week. I'm still going to be trying to promote it. If anybody wants to have me and Pat on, I think that'd be awesome. We were on Naman this week. Naman's so great. And I hadn't realized that just because I've been gradually doing or getting on YouTube less and less, I knew Naman, of course, had some issues. I don't know if it's a full year at this point. You know, we're on Mike's, Evil Mike's Stephen King book club, and Naaman just wasn't there one day. Nobody knew for at least a week or two what was going on. It turned out he had a stroke, and finally kind of heard from Naaman's own perspective what happened, and it was very scary and whatnot. It's kind of interesting because the book is about what this one man sees in his last moment before he dies. And Naaman was, and this is his words, he was right there. It's kind of creepy. And so basically a man who almost died was talking to us about a book about somebody who unfortunately is their last minute of life. Kind of a different kind of, different kind of interview, different kind of perspective. You should check that out on Naaman's channel, The Comic Bookworm, if you're unaware, if you haven't yet. But yeah, right now this week has been about my back and Condrey, and this upcoming week will most likely be a lot about Condrey as well, and hopefully I could put this whole thing with my back behind me. No pun intended. All right, see you next time.